Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Western Conference is getting more difficult every day. Great teams have been created with great squads, and they are emerging as favorites for the championship. Team as Dallas Mavericks, Phoenix Suns, Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves, not to mention the Golden State Warriors, who are playing very well. To compete with these teams for the championship, the Warriors need a new star who can make an impact alongside Stephen Curry. Strong rumors, Warriors and Bucks make trade that will shock the NBA world. The Milwaukee Bucks are currently 5-9, as they're facing a nightmare start to the 2024-2025 NBA season. It's worth noting that the Bucks are coming off a disappointing campaign after they were initially dubbed as legitimate championship contenders with the team-up of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. Whether it's Doc Rivers' questionable coaching or Lillard's fading superstardom, the Bucks have a major problem. With their all-star duo pointing towards failure, there's no doubt that the Bucks can be considering blowing up their roster that's currently centered around the Greek Freak. Should the Bucks press the rebuild button, they won't have any problems finding suitors for the two-time NBA MVP. Giannis is a generational talent who has proven to be a future Hall of Famer, especially after leading the Bucks to a championship. But with a $48 million salary this season, NBA teams will have to give up plenty should they decide to gamble by bringing him on board. But with his talent and dominance in the NBA, any basketball team that wants to win now should consider the idea. Thus far, there are plenty of teams that should give the Bucks a call. One of which is the top seed in the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are currently in winning ways. However, they're also thinking about maximizing the closing window of Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Although their young guns are showing positive signs, it's still unknown if they can handle bigger responsibilities once the postseason rolls by. Let's take a look at the perfect Giannis Antetokounmpo trade the Warriors must offer the Bucks. With the Warriors currently being hard-capped at the first apron, there is virtually no path to them trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo during the 2024-25 NBA season. This trade proposal seen below is a blueprint of an idea that could be explored during the offseason prior to the 2025-26 season. Bucks receive Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandin Podziemski, Lindy Waters III, 2025 first-round pick, 2027 first-round pick. Warriors receive Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks should receive a haul of young pieces in return for their 2021 NBA Finals MVP should they make a deal with the Warriors. In addition to youth, the Bucks will also have plenty of championship experience. Wiggins, $26.3 million, should be a reliable starter for the Bucks. He should also be the best player the Warriors can offer in the package, as he played a pivotal role in the Warriors' championship team in 2022. On the other hand, Brandin Podziemski, Lindy Waters, and Jonathan Kuminga have shown plenty of potential. Perhaps the Bucks can allow them to be unleashed in line with their rebuild. Kuminga's game has never been a perfect fit in Golden State. However, that can change in Milwaukee. While Podziemski has been untouchable in trade talks involving superstars during the offseason, the availability of the Greek Freak would be too hard to pass up. Furthermore, Podziemski should easily be a Bucks franchise cornerstone should he land in Milwaukee. Waters was an off-season acquisition who showed plenty of promise prior to injury. Some additional shooting and youth should never hurt a team in its rebuilding chapter. But while Wiggins, Podziemski, and Kuminga will headline the Warriors package, the Bucks are also probably eyeing the first-round draft picks. These draft picks should give the Bucks plenty of cushioning to build the foundation for Giannis' impending departure. It is important to note that Kuminga will be a restricted free agent next summer, and Waters will be an unrestricted free agent. Both players could be included in trade talks via sign-and-trade agreements, but this would complicate Milwaukee's financials after sending out arguably their best player in team history. Right now, neither the Bucks nor the Warriors have the capability to make this type of trade. The Warriors lineup with Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's safe to say that the Warriors have been wishing for a megastar like Giannis to pair with Curry. Given that the Warriors' interest in All-Stars Lauri Markkanen and Paul George never materialized during the offseason, there's no doubt that the Warriors would be more aggressive in the Greek Freak sweepstakes. The addition of the back-to-back NBA MVP should further maximize Curry's closing window. His impact on both ends of the floor, combined with Curry's outside shooting, should make the Warriors nearly unstoppable. With Giannis at his prime, Curry and Green's aging bodies can take a step back on the offensive load. But more importantly, with Giannis' ability to attract opposing defenses, there's no question this will leave plenty of room for the Warriors' shooters to get open. It's worth noting that aside from having the best shooter in the world in Curry, the Warriors still have Moses Moody, DeAnthony Melton, and Buddy Hield, who has emerged as Curry's splash buddy. The only issue with Giannis' addition to the Warriors' rotation is his suspect shooting from the perimeter. However, Giannis easily makes up for it with his ability to dominate in transition and get into the shaded area. For this aspect, one can count on Steve Kerr to devise a game plan that can successfully integrate the Greek Freak into the Warriors' system. Golden State Warriors guard Brandin Podziemski hasn't looked right this season, and the best evidence of this is his horrific 19.1% shooting from three-point land thus far. During their 125-112 victory against the Washington Wizards on November 5, Podziemski left the game in the third quarter, citing dizziness. The 2024 NBA All-Rookie first-team member sat out against the Boston Celtics and returned to play in a blowout loss against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Vertigo was ruled out, but Podziemski's mystery illness led to fatigue, and it played a role in why he has yet to gain traction this season. It's worth noting that he had to wear a mask after breaking his nose late in preseason. "We didn't figure out what it is," Podziemski told The Athletic's Anthony Slater. "We're still trying to figure it out right now." Brandin Podziemski also met with head coach Steve Kerr and general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. to discuss his early season struggles. The 21-year-old guard said he received words of encouragement from the two. "Come out and be myself and the best version of me," Podziemski said. "Not try to play for everybody else. Understand what I bring to the table." Steve Kerr believes Brandin Podziemski will regain his mojo with the Golden State Warriors. While Steve Kerr acknowledged that Brandin Podziemski is in a sophomore slump, the four-time NBA champion coach said the former number 19 pick will find his rhythm soon. "He's not shooting the ball with much confidence right now," Kerr said about Podziemski. "That's obvious. It's part of being in the NBA. Everyone goes through stretches where you don't quite feel it. The way he shot it at the end of last year, all summer, watching him in camp, he's a really good shooter. He'll find it." 12 games in, and Brandin Podziemski is only averaging 7.8 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per contest on 38% shooting from the field. He is coming off a 1-point performance in their loss against the Los Angeles Clippers. Kerr admits Warriors are very concerned about Melton's ACL injury. It appears the Warriors could be without one of their starters for an extended period of time. Veteran guard DeAnthony Melton suffered a sprained ACL in Golden State's 120-117 win over the Dallas Mavericks on November 12, and the team announced the following day the 26-year-old would undergo further testing to determine the severity of the injury and his recovery timeline. Warriors coach Steve Kerr joined 95.7 The Game's Willard and Dibbs on Tuesday and expressed concern for Melton's injury. "Not yet. We will soon," Kerr said when asked if he had a further update on Melton. "He's been seeking other opinions, and we've really been evaluating everything, just trying to get him the best advice he can get." We're obviously very concerned. Anytime you're talking about an ACL, I had one in college and tore it completely and had surgery. It's a serious injury, so we're really taking our time and making sure DeAnthony gets all of the advice he needs. Melton, who the Warriors signed to a one-year, $12.8 million contract this offseason, played in 6 games before sustaining his ACL injury and averaged 10.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.2 steals per game on 40.7% shooting from the field and 37.1% from three-point range. NBC Sports Bay Area recently spoke with Stanford Medicine's Dr. Jeffrey Abrams, MD, who, without knowing the full extent of Melton's injury, estimated the guard could be sidelined anywhere from a few weeks for a minor sprain to many weeks for higher-grade tears that impact the knee's structural integrity and require surgery.